Let's talk about yin and yang when it comes to fasting and feeding. Yin and yang are present in everything: love, relationship, career, and life in general. Opposing forces need to be balanced the right way in order to achieve harmony. The symbol represents completion, and that duality is required to achieve equilibrium. Today is the equinox, and the equinox represents equal days and equal nights, an equilibrium. A fasted state or a fed state. Your body is not meant to be in a constant state of digestion. We're not meant to be eating all day, every day in and day out. When does your body get a break? When do your organs get a break? Things to think about. Your body has two different opposing states, a fasting state and a feeding state. The fasted state is the yin state. And let's look at the benefits of the yin state. It improves your heart health, brain function, blood lipid levels, weight loss, increased longevity, and it also reduces the risk of chronic diseases, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and so much more. The fed state is the yang state. When you're in the fed state, your insulin is high, your glucose is high, and you're in fat storing mode. Too much of the fed state can lead to elevated glucose, elevated insulin, insulin resistance, and you're reliant on glucose. You're also at risk of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, PCOS, and certain cancers. And Americans spend most of their time in the fed state, in the fat storing mode. An imbalance in fed state leads to chronic diseases like diabetes, fatty liver, PCOS, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol. But the opposite is true. Fasting is not starving. When you're fasting, you unlock the healing properties within your body. Believe it or not, your body is like a walking miracle. We don't have anything to do with the digestion that's going on inside, but we have everything to do with what we're putting inside of our body. The food today is lacking fiber. The United States has a chronic fiber deficiency. Most of the food that we eat is heavily processed, and the process is removing the fiber from the food. Well, when you remove fiber from food, your body is not getting the satiation, the fullness, so it's constantly leaving you in a hungry state. When you eat fiber first, it gets out in front of your food and it blocks your carbs, cholesterol, and glucose spikes. But guess what? Check your food. Most foods with a barcode have little to no fiber. They're very sugar and carb heavy. The best thing about fasting is that it's for free. You don't need to take any medication. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to take injections, pills. I've been able to manage my glucose and carbs, reverse my diabetes and fatty liver by fasting and feeding. Don't believe the hype on all these injections and medications. That is not the way. The yin and yang is the way. It's been the way for hundreds of years. Our ancestors were fasting and feeding, used to get over 100 grams of fiber every day. In the US, Americans are getting anywhere from 12 to 15 grams of fiber a day. Start eating whole foods, all natural foods that don't have a barcode. That is where it's at. Start practicing the yin and yang of fasting and feeding. Get better at it, and you'll see your health begin to improve.